Manchester, October 2nd, 2025. On the holiest day of the Jewish year, peace turned to chaos in the quiet suburb of Crumpsall. A car drove into worshippers outside Heaton Park Hebrew Congregation. The driver, armed with a knife and wearing what looked like an explosive vest, attacked. 2 members of the community lost their lives. Several more were injured. And in the hours that followed, a city and a nation struggled to comprehend what had just happened. Heaton Park Hebrew Congregation has stood for decades, a place of worship, community, and family in North Manchester. On Yom Kippur, it is full, families dressed in their best clothes, children running ahead, elders leaning on canes. It was a morning like so many others, until at 9:31 a.m. everything changed. The sound of an engine, louder, closer. Witnesses recall the moment. A grey vehicle mounted the pavement, dragging worshippers outside the synagogue. Screams cut through the quiet morning. The driver stumbled out. In his hand, a knife across his chest. What looked like an explosive vest. He slashed at bystanders. People scattered in terror. Some ran, some fell, others froze in shock. One witness later said, shift-tone dramatized voice. He didn't hesitate. He went straight for the people closest to him. We just ran. We didn't know if the vest was real. By the time it was over, 2 men were gone. 53-year-old Adrian Dorby remembered for his humor, his kindness, and his dedication to his community. And 66-year-old Melvin Kravitz, a quiet, gentle man who gave his time freely to help others. 3 more were badly injured. 1 struck by the car. 2 stabbed. And 1 victim may even have been caught in the crossfire when police opened fire. These were not names in a headline. They were fathers, friends, neighbors, taken on the holiest day of the year. The first emergency call came at 9:31. Man with a knife outside the synagogue. Possible bomb vest. Within minutes, armed response officers arrived. Through the rain and the screams, they saw the suspect pacing near the gates. Negotiators shouted for him to drop the weapon. He raised it higher. Every second, the vest loomed larger in their minds. Was it real? Would it explode? At 9:38 a.m., officers opened fire. The suspect collapsed instantly. The vest later was confirmed to be fake. But in that moment, no one could take the chance. The suspect was identified as Jihad Ayashami, 35 years old, a British citizen of Syrian heritage. Within hours, counter-terrorism police declared a major incident. Bomb disposal teams confirmed the vest was a hoax. But the knife wounds and the lives lost were very real. In the following days, 3 more individuals were arrested, suspected of aiding, preparing, or encouraging acts of terrorism. Investigators searched homes, seized computers, and tried to answer the question, why? What they found points to antisemitism, a hatred turned violent. But much remains under investigation. That evening, hundreds gathered outside the synagogue. Candles lined the pavement. Songs and prayers filled the cold Manchester air. One rabbi spoke through tears, on the holiest day of the year, violence found us. But we will not let hate destroy who we are. The Jewish community of Manchester is one of the oldest and the largest in the United Kingdom. For them, this was more than tragedy. It was trauma, but also resilience. Even in grief, they vowed not to be silenced. From London, Prime Minister Keir Starmer addressed the nation. He called the attack an act of hatred against Jews, an act against Britain itself. He promised increased protection for synagogues and Jewish schools across the country. In Manchester, police deployed extra patrols to all houses of worship. But for many, the fear remained. If even a day of prayer is not safe, what place is? The Manchester synagogue attack will be remembered not only for its violence, but for its symbolism. It showed how fragile peace can be, how quickly hate can erupt into horror, and how communities must stand together. Because division is exactly what such acts seek to create. For Adrian Dorby, for Melvin Kravitz, for the injured, and for a city that now carries the scars of Yom Kippur 2025.
If you've enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, so you'll be the first to know when we release our next crime story. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below, share your theories, and let us know what kind of stories you want to hear next. And if you found this episode interesting, make sure to like and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.